Welcome to Real Estate Essentials. I'm your host, Jay Deher. On today's program, we're going to show you a redesign of a turn-of-the-century home. We're going to look at some incredible land, and I'm having the guys from Fix help me with an issue I had with a house down in Mappleton. All that and more coming up right after this. I'm Jay Deher. I've been on top of Utah's real estate market for over 10 years. I will show you things about this market that you never knew.
So we're here in Sugar House in Salt Lake City at a house that was built around 1915 or the craftsman period. A lot of people think that they can modernize these homes, but you can actually make them both aesthetically pleasing and functional. So come on in and I'll show you what we've done with this house. So I'm actually an interior designer, but I also have a degree in architecture and historic preservation. And one of the first things they teach us is to incorporate some of this style and architecture from the time period. You can see that on these trims over here, over the doorways and the door openings, we've incorporated some of the craftsman style as well in the fireplace. And one of the other elements that we try to incorporate and look at are the colors from the time period. So this is a very small home, but with a small home you can do a lot of great things. The owner of this particular house wanted to maintain the historical character from the time period when it was being built, around the 19-teens or the craftsman period. He wanted to redo the living room, the dining room, and the bathroom, and also some of the exterior work. And one of the things we talked about is redoing the trim work and maintaining some of the simple trim work that they had at the time period, and also the darker colors in the woodwork. Furnishings are important. We incorporated this dining table, which is from the craftsman period. We also tried to incorporate some of the more modern artwork, just to have a mix of styles. The bathroom was a very small space, and he wanted to expand it and have a modern shower, which it didn't accommodate before. So we expanded into the bedroom behind the bathroom and made a shower. We also incorporated a vanity that has the style of the craftsman period with simple lines and darker woodwork. So as you can see from the interiors and the exterior of this home, you can make these historical homes very functional and very pleasing and also very livable.
Every month when Susan gets her power bill, she gets a shock because the power bills continue to steadily rise month after month. Susan is a mom, a wife, and a smart woman. She found Solar Tech Solutions. Susan made an environmental and economical decision. She installed a solar power system that saves her thousands every year. If you can afford ever-increasing power bills, you can certainly afford your solar power system. Get your free energy consultation today and switch to Solar Tech with nothing out of pocket.
They have rainforests in Nicaragua, or what's it like there?
No, they do. I've never been to the rainforest before, but I went on this boat trip out, in this, it was actually part of a saltwater lake near this volcano, and we're out on this boat trip cruising around, checking out all these wild monkeys. They're coming down, we're feeding them bananas. And,
Oh, really?
yeah, I mean...
So the stereotype is real. Monkeys eat bananas.
They love bananas. And they had howler monkeys, the ones that are, sound like they're really big and huge and angry. And so we're cruising down doing all that stuff. And it was absolutely beautiful. All these beautiful islands that were just everywhere. You can own these islands. And so as we're coming back in from this boat trip, the sun's going down. And as we get back into town, it's called a little town of Granada, I believe is how they pronounce it. It's a beautiful little town. And we go, and it's now starting to get really dark. And we go into back to where the city center is. And now this is outside the rainforest, but as we're walking through this little kind of town center they have, the trees are, because they got trees everywhere, they are just literally bursting with all these birds just singing the most incredible, like they're, because birds here at night, they settle down, they go to sleep. Not in the rainforest.
So this was at night or the evening?
This is at night. Just, it's pretty much almost dark at that point. And these birds are singing and just carrying on like it's like they were singing a victory song or something. It was literally the most amazing thing I'd ever experienced before. I mean, I'd never been to the rainforest like that. And to go at night, I could only imagine it must be just, because I was just in the city central for this thing. It was absolutely amazing.
How about mosquitoes?
Oh, mosquitoes they're like the birds.
Like
they come
Utah
out
Lake?
at night. They make Utah Lake look good.
Oh.
These mosquitoes are serious. They're not super big, but there are a ton of them. Where our house was, we'd come up, walking up just after surfing in the middle of the day. If the wind wasn't blowing, we would have to run and just jump into the pool as we get back because the mosquitoes would be just chasing us.
Oh, really? They'd mob you?
Oh my God, they were so bad. If you weren't wearing shoes, you couldn't run very fast because our feet were all cut up, So the mosquitoes were. I had so many mosquito bites when I got back. I'm surprised I don't have malaria or something. Oh my gosh! But it was an incredible trip, though.
That's cool.
Nothing's more valuable than land, and coming up right after the break, we're going to take a look at some land that's available right above Pine View Reservoir.
Oftentimes, our clients come to us at the most challenging and difficult times in their lives. We found that at these difficult times, what really makes a difference is knowledge, and that's where we come in.
So Darin, our country was founded on and really became so popular by the vast amount of land that was available, right?
Yeah, and home ownership.
Home ownership, and now we've found that land is extremely hard to find.
Scarce commodity.
Yeah, and so this is a beautiful parcel that's available. It's 276 acres, and it's some of the most pristine property that I've seen in a long time. I mean, it's available. You can hunt on it. It's in a pristine location, as you can see right there. That's Powder Mountain, and right above
Up Ogden Canyon.
Yeah, right up there, right above Huntsville, in a little place by the name of Monte Cristo, and that's what's always important. Whenever you look at land, is the location.
Right.
And so I thought that would be kind of nice if we looked at the city of Huntsville right here and right near Pine View Reservoir, and you can just see those spectacular views.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of property.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And as you go to, this is one of those things that once you own land, you own land. And its location is extremely important, obviously. It's just like anything else. And to have a large parcel like this, which is 276 acres, this parcel of land was actually owned by the Marriotts.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Huh.
And the Marriotts used to own a ton of land. This was one of their premium pieces, and it's become available. And so 276 acres, and it's going to be available for just under $4 million. And so that's going to break down into about $14,000 an acre.
Wow.
When was the last time you went to go buy an acre for $14,000?
It's been a long time, especially if it looks like that.
Yeah, this is actually going up the canyon right there, and you can see this is Pine View Reservoir. I thought it'd be nice. That'd be nice if we went and looked at the location where it's, and then we go up into the mountain where it actually is, because it's in the mountain up above Pine View.
Such a beautiful valley.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different components to it to give it that diversity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Pineview is one of the premier boating lakes in Utah. There's looking down the canyon there, spectacular views. And of course, it's one of the great places to go sailing or fishing. They've got tiger muskie in that lake. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, tiger muskie is a really big fish. It's almost like an alligator.
Mm.
And so you can catch these big, huge ones. And it's one of the few lakes in Utah that actually have that type of fish.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so obviously,
I did know they have nice beaches.
very nice beaches, don't
Yeah,
they?
that's not too common in Utah.
No. Yeah, sandy beaches, great place for the family. What's nice about this location is it's very, very diverse. It's set up for year-round access. They've got, of course, the beautiful lakes and the camping, and it's got the ski resorts. And
Right up the road.
Yeah, it's got snowmobiling. This is in the valley in itself is one of the most beautiful valleys in all of Utah, because you can come across large parcels of land, but they're usually out in the desert or something. But
Right.
to have a large parcel of land at the top of that's actually flat and next to all these amenities to be able to enjoy the wildlife and stuff, this is very, very unique. Darin, leaving the lake here and going up the canyon, I thought it'd be nice to kind of fly over and give you an idea of what it looks like as you go up this canyon to this beautiful parcel of land.
Incredible amount of greenery.
Can you believe that? One of the really nice things I like about this parcel of land is when you get to the top of a mountain and you get way up there, to be able to have flat land is very, very rare. And
Yes.
that's what this parcel has. It has the ability to just, I mean, it's really flat for as high up as it is.
Right, it's one thing to own a mountain, it's another thing to have that land accessible.
Yeah, and be able to use it.
Yeah,
Yeah, which makes it perfect for snowmobiling or camping or whatever you want to do.
right.
I'm just blown away at the diverse nature of this land, of how it's flat and then it goes into steep, and it's right in the mountains. It's got the beautiful trees, and it's spectacular. One of the nice things is, of course, snowmobiling in Utah. And so the nice thing about this, it's got year-round access, and it's got these beautiful mountains that you can run around on. You can run in the flats, you can run up in the mountains, and it's right next to what they call Ant Flats, which is one of the state's designated snowmobile areas, which is, and so this
Endless
fortunate-
snowmobiling.
I know, right?
Amazing.
Year-round,
Yeah.
year-round use of your own land. And of course the wildlife, right? You would think this was just some stock footage. No, we actually took this footage from the land itself. So all the animals you see on here are actually from the land.
I'm sure there's a lot of hunters in the state that would like to go on this property from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, you got your own private hunting ground.
Yeah.
So if you got a beaver dam, guess what you got?
Got beavers.
Got beavers.
Yep.
Beavers are fairly rare these days, aren't they? I think they had kind of an issue where they were losing all the beavers. But there's I don't know if you own your own beaver, but your beaver's on your land, you know?
Yeah.
So Darin, of all the property and land that I've ever sold, this is one of the most spectacular pieces I've been involved in. And when I say spectacular, that's the words that come out of my mouth.
It is spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever picks this one up and has it involved in their family is gonna create a legacy.
Yeah, legacy for generations.
I mean, if you own your own mountain,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. So if somebody wants a private tour of this thing, of this land, all they got to do is contact me, and I'm happy to get them out there and we can take a look at it.
What a fantastic thing for you to be able to list this property.
This is one of the fun things in real estate,
Yeah.
is to get involved, and so there's so many options, so many things that you can do with this. Just depends on what people are looking for, what
Yeah.
their agenda is.
At Intermountain Credit Advocates, we designed our systems to speed up the credit restoration process for our clients. Because to us, the only thing better than changing our clients' lives is changing their lives faster.
I guess you get asked this all the time, when's the right time to refinance?
Oh, yeah. Very common question. Sometimes I'll get people calling in and they'll say, hey, I hear it's the right time to refinance if something happens, like if I can drop my interest rate by 1 whole %.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's kind of a common thing that you'll hear in the industry. But to be honest with you, it really doesn't matter. There's really no formula to it like that. Because it may make sense to drop your rate maybe 1/4 %. Or I've even had people refinance and take a higher rate, but they eliminated mortgage insurance or something along those lines.
It just makes sense.
Yeah. So every case is different. But if you want to take a look at if it's worth it, the question is it worth it to refinance? The very first question you have to ask yourself is, how long are you going to be in the home or hold that mortgage? Because if it's going to be a long period of time, then the interest rate will matter. And it'll matter more than your closing costs. And so you may pay a little bit more in closing costs, but you could get a lower interest rate by doing so. And then over time, that would make up for what you paid. So the real way you want to look at it is you want to look at how much the refinance costs you up front and how much you save monthly. And then you just you compare those two. Because sometimes, you can set up a refinance where it costs you nothing. There's no closing costs. You can take a rate higher than the rate of the day, and the bank will pay for all your closing costs.
Wrap it all in there.
Yeah. So then if you take a 1/4% reduction, if it's worth it, because the very next month you're already getting a lower payment, you didn't pay anything for it. So, and that's
all depends on.
Yeah, and that's a really good short-term solution. So the longer you're in a house, the more the rate matters. The shorter in your house, the more the closing costs matter.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Coming up right after the break, we're going to head down to Mappleton and have the guys from Fix come and help me out with an issue I found on a house.
Oftentimes, our clients come to us expecting credit restoration or credit education to be an expensive process. They're surprised to find out that it's not, and the value is certainly there in the long run.
So Trent, we got this house under contract, and in the inspection process of it, the inspectors come through and we found some issues with this deck. And tell me what you see here.
Well, we see a lot of this actually. This deck is only about 6 or 7 years old, and it's supposed to last for upwards of around 50.
Wow.
It's beginning to fail already. If you look at it, it's just chipping off.
Yeah, it's coming apart.
It is. It's coming apart. Obviously, we've had some water damage here. In addition to the water, because it's got direct sunlight all day long, you've got some expansion and contraction issues that will add to that. So you can really see how weak it is.
So it's already gone through and destroyed the wood underneath.
It's gone through, yeah, it's destroyed the wood underneath, and we're going to have to look at that. Those might need to be replaced. Look at this rail, Jay.
Yeah, that's a serious safety issue.
It is. So the wood is rotted out. It's gotten really weak, and it's caused some big time integrity issues with this rail.
Yeah, and the rail is obviously starting to get some flaky paint on it. And so, what do you got planned there? You're gonna repaint this, or what are you gonna do?
No, we're going to pull them out. It's not worth repainting. The amount of prep time it's going to take to fix those isn't worth it. They've come up with another design idea with this, so we'll replace the rails. We're actually going to tie them into these posts themselves,
so they're more secure.
Exactly,
as well, which would
increase
be good.
the security
That's a great
there.
idea.
So.
Well, this is great because we've negotiated to get this all figured in the deal, and so the seller's going to pay for it, and it'll work out great for the buyer.
Yeah, it'll be great.
So Trent, another thing I always run across, and they've called it out on the inspection, is this flaky paint here. And obviously, because this is hitting that morning sun and just cooking this thing, is going to happen over and over and over again. Is there something we can do to fix this issue?
It is, and you could apply an exterior grade paint, but you're still going to have the same issue. You're going to have to continue to scrape it and scrape it. So what we've done, we've had somebody come in, and they are bending metal to actually go over this.
Oh, really?
They'll contour this, and then it'll really clean it up, really look good.
Okay, good. So Trent, looks like the back deck's starting to do that same sort of thing.
It is, and most likely it's caused from some expansion and contraction going on here. Obviously not as bad as the other deck, but it's the beginnings of it.
Yeah, right.
We want to catch this now before.
So you're going to do the same thing? Is that your plan here?
That's our plan. Yep.
Yeah. So, what is it? Tile? Is that what you're going to put
Yep.
on?
We'll pull this up, replace it with some tile, which will really add to the integrity and structure of the deck. Keep it waterproof.
And work a lot more long term, I guess.
Exactly, long term. And we'll do the same thing with the rails. Replace the rails, get something a little more decorative, and get rid of the flaking issues we're having.
Okay, great. So Trent, how did things come out here?
You know what, they turned out really well, really well.
Good.
If you remember, we had a lot of water damage up here.
Yeah, some serious issues.
Serious issues, yeah. Really, this floor was starting to disintegrate.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look, what we did, we came in, wholesale flooring provided a really good looking tile. And
So is all tile indoor, outdoor tile then?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to hold up really well. It's a porcelain tile, so it's pre-glazed. It's going to stand up really well. We used a grout that's going to hold up really well to the elements as well.
Okay.
These pillars here, if you remember, we had a lot of disintegration going on, a lot of damage.
Yeah.
What we had to do is pull off some of this brick here, and we found that there had actually been quite a bit of rotting to the structure itself.
Yeah, there were issues.
There were, yes. Stock building supply really provided us with some lumber options, and we were able to take care of those issues in a way that prevented any future damage.
Mm-hmm.
With the tile, really this deck has become impenetrable to water.
Yeah, so we won't have this issue in the future.
We won't have
which is
these
great.
issues anymore, yeah.
Now, what did you guys do about all that wood below? Because there was a lot of mold and rot and all kinds of stuff. What happened?
There was, yeah. We actually had to replace quite a bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
All the decking, the subfloor we had to replace. The decking we had to replace. What was still in good shape, we were able to salvage. We treated it with some different chemicals in order to kill the mold and prevent it from growing in the future.
Yeah.
But we cleaned it up really well, and we were actually able to salvage a good portion of it.
That's great.
So, if you also remember, these railings here that we had some big issues with them.
Yeah, they were a hazard.
It was a safety hazard, yes. And they were really concerned about it.
Yeah.
So they had some railings in the front that we were able to match. Interior iron provided a really good looking rail. They've been powder coated, so they're going to stand up to the elements now.
Mm-hmm. They look great.
They
I like
do,
it.
yeah.
And I like the way you supported them from the top there instead of just from the bottom, because that's the way it should have been done
Exactly,
in the first
yeah. The previous rails were supported by the bottom exclusively. They had nothing into these side pillars.
Yeah, that's never going to hold.
No.
If somebody leaned against that hard, they would go over the edge, and that'd be terrible.
Exactly.
All right, so I noticed also around here, around the doors, you added in some, what do they call it? Is this tin? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a tin. So a lot of times you'll see that on soffit and fascia.
Yeah.
But what we were able to do is wrap it around these door jambs, and it provides, if you remember, we had a lot of chipping, paint,
and that's just going to happen over and over and over.
It is.
There's no way to get away from it.
You can paint over it, it's going to happen again. So we wrap these door jambs in this aluminum, in this tin, and really it's become a maintenance-free solution.
Yeah.
And it looks really good.
And so what other things did you do here?
You know, the garage, it's a great sized garage. Had some issues with some staining, cars, oil that was leaking. So we had Quality Pro Coatings come in and and put down an epoxy covering.
Yeah, that looks
and
great.
It really, really makes the garage look good. And what it does for the garage is if you have dripping oil in the future, you spill something on it, it just wipes right up.
Yeah,
You're not going to have any issues with it.
I love it. Now I noticed this big stairway that you added in here off the back deck. That's
Yeah.
great.
You know, and one of the biggest problems to this house is it has these great big decks in the back with a beautiful view, but there's no access downstairs.
Yeah, which is terrible.
It
Because
is.
he wants to do all his barbecuing right downstairs, right?
Exactly.
He'd have to go out his front door all the way around his back or through the house downstairs, and this way he just goes right down that. And
Exactly.
it fits in perfect with the landscape and everything.
It
Did a
does.
Great
It
job with
allows
that.
them to entertain and to really use the space that they have. And so it'll work really well for them.
Well, this is great because we caught this all during the inspection. This is why it's so important to get a home inspection on the house, because you can find these issues and problems. Doesn't mean the house is ruined, right? You just got to do some repairs to it. So Ken must be happy because we got a lot of this figured in this deal, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you really do. If you get caught with some of these things, you're responsible for them.
Yeah, if you buy the house, they're your problems.
Exactly. So we were able to catch a lot of these things beforehand, get them repaired, and we're in good shape now. So Ken, we finished up with everything. How do you feel about the changes we've made to your decks?
You know, the staircase is beautiful. It's better than I had ever imagined. The staircase opens up the backyard, and it allows me to have access to this. I don't know how they got along without it before. But besides that, it's just beautiful. It's nestled in there nice. It's got a nice tree on this side of it, shades it, and it's between the bushes. And the staircase is just beautiful. And I think it'll add a lot of aesthetic value to the house.
I agree. It was a great choice that you made to get that staircase in, and I hope you really enjoy it.
I'm sure I will.
Hi, I'm Jay Deher. Not only am I the host of ABC's hit TV show Real Estate Essentials, but I'm also one of Utah's top realtors. List with me, and not only will I put your home in front of thousands of buyers, but my moving team, Wasatch Moving Company, will move you and your family into your new home for free. So list with me and move for free. And be sure to tune into Real Estate Essentials every Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, only on ABC for Utah. Thanks for tuning into this week's show. Now remember, real estate's all about local knowledge and timing, and that's what you get here on Real Estate Essentials.